And welcome to the Schaefer Center here. Schaefer Center. Welcome to the soccer fields here on the campus of Southwestern Son God University, near the Schaefer Center, just east of the Schaefer Center, where today it's the Southwestern Assembly of God University Lady Lions hosting the John Brown University Golden Eagles. And we're about to get set underway here on the homecoming weekend here on the Waxahachie campus. Lady Lions come into this soccer match 2-11 on the year. Unfortunately, 0-5 in conference play. Meanwhile, the John Brown Golden Eagles come into this game at 9-3, 4-1 overall, and actually receiving votes for national recognition for the top 25 teams in the nation in the NAIA for women's soccer. So, Lady Lions trying to get on the board with win number 1 here in conference play.
Yeah, it's been a rough transition into the Sooner Athletic Conference for the Lady Lions. They made some big strides last year in the Red River Conference. Knew it would be a lot tougher coming into the Sooner. I don't think anybody expected to be this tough, though. We're going up against some really good defenses. Lady Lions have had a real tough time even finding any sort of offensive footing. Matter of fact, we're looking at a milestone here in just a few days. It's been almost a month since the Lady Lions have found the back of the net. The last goal they scored was September 26th. That was, I believe, in the 63rd minute of that game in late September. So the Lady Lions have gone 477 minutes without a goal.
Team has been outshot 177-46 on the season as well. So, looking to turn things around indeed. Nowhere else to look but up, Tim, at this point in the season. But that's why they play the game. So you've got to play the game, and never know things can happen on a soccer field that are unexpected. So,
all right, well, let's check out the starting lineup for the Lady Lions today, and then we'll come back with first half action.
Kaylee Shingleton from Deer Park, Texas, and I'm a junior goalkeeper. Christine Lopez, Red Egg, Texas, sophomore, midfield.
Natalie Pena, Dallas, Texas, senior midfield.
Lindy Garrison, Hastings, Michigan, senior, forward, midfield.
Amy Lambden, Stockton, California, junior, forward.
Amber Blau, Roseville, California, junior, forward.
Kinsey McNutt, DeSoto, Texas, sophomore, midfield forward.
Noelle Pugliese, Lee Summit, Missouri, senior, forward.
Daniela Ramirez, Waco, Texas, junior defender.
Vicky Hagemeyer, Democratic Republic of the Congo, junior defender.
Kaylee Cox, Midlothian, Texas, freshman defender.
and there's a look at some of your starting lineup players for Lady Lions as they are in their final prep stages, saying a prayer, asking for protection, for a healthy game as we're about to get underway here at Waxahachie on the campus of Southwestern. Coach Mandy Forder in her 3rd year at the helm, assisted by Kaylin Flores. And like you said, Tim, it's been kind of a dry season the last 3 or 4 weeks. Been outshot 177-46 on the season. And like you said, almost 500 minutes since their last goal.
Yeah, and it's going to be tough today to find a goal, honestly. Going against John Brown, their starting goalkeeper, Kristen Morency, allows less than 1 goal a game. That's number 33 in the NAIA. Now, it's kind of a goalie battle today, though. The Lady Lions goalie, Haley Shingleton, number 2 in the NAIA in saves per game. She averages 12.75 saves a game. She had 20 just a few games ago in 1 game. Now, obviously, when you're getting outshot by a margin of over 130, you're going to take a lot more shots.
Absolutely.
But Shingleton has been human target practice in there from time to time, but she has held her own. She has kept the Lady Lions in a lot of games. So look for really a goalie battle today. Probably going to be a very low-scoring affair.
We're underway here in the first of 2 games here at Southwestern. The men will be on tap around 4 o'clock this afternoon. This is a really busy week here for the SAGU Sports Network. This is our 2nd broadcast in 3 days. We have 1 more coming Saturday. So really 3 broadcasts, volleyball Tuesday, soccer today, and then football, homecoming game football, Saturday 2 o'clock kickoff for that game.
Justine Lopez unable to clear the ball to middle, but the Lady Lions retain possession. Long pass over, and Lopez will get it again.
On up ahead.
Bit too strong, though, and Vicky Hagemeyer can't get to it in time, and that'll go out of bounds.
Brady Frederick does lead the JBU team with 6 goals on the season. Leading the way for Lady Lions, Madeline Thornley. She's got 2 goals, and that's good enough for tops on her team.
As you mentioned, scoring has been the issue for the Lady Lions. 5 goals scored all year, 6 goals officially due to the forfeit from Dallas Christian College. Automatic score there is 1-0.
Right.
But only 5 times have they found pay dirt, just going up against very, very solid defenses here in the Sooner Athletic Conference.
Amber Bilal playing some good corner defense there for the Lady Lions. She's a freshman from Roseville, California, out of Whitney High School. Just underway here on the campus of Southwestern. Yeah, look for John Brown to jump ahead and keep pouring it on. They do have some good offensive power, witnessed by their record. They want to get some more votes, don't they, Tim, to actually crack that top 25?
Yeah, this is an upset chance for the Lady Lions to try to dent a team's chance to have a shot really at the NAIA National Tournament. If you're John Brown, this is the time you look to make a statement in a game like this, going up against a team that's in the cellar of the Sooner Athletic Conference in their first year of play. So, yeah, look for John Brown to take this game very seriously. They can't afford to make mistakes, to find themselves in a dogfight. We know from basketball last year that when you're towards the bottom of the polls trying to make a move for the first time, it takes everything you can give to move up. And at this time of year, with teams playing their best, all it really takes is one bad game, and you can lose a lot of ground, because there's a lot of teams out there playing really good right now.
Well, look at John Brown. They're ranked technically number 39 based on the number of votes received, but they sit in 1, 2, 3, 4. They're sitting 5th place in the Sooner Athletic Conference with just 1 loss. Looking ahead up at them, Oklahoma Baptist at 7-1. Oklahoma City is number 2, 5-1. They're number 19 in the land.
That shot goes just high of the goal. First it appeared that might have been touched, but it was not. So free kick from the goalie.
SAGU and St. Gregory's, the only 2 teams in the conference without a win yet this far into the season. St. Gregory's is at 0-6. Ball near midfield. And Lady Lions will get that ball back.
She's setting up a free kick here, actually,
foul.
for
Could be a free
John
kick.
Brown. It's a free kick for John Brown.
It's going to be
From probably about 50, 60 feet out.
Julie Whitlow, sophomore from Rogers, Arkansas, will put the ball into play.
Rogers, Arkansas. Just a little bit north of Walmart headquarters.
She's out of Heritage High School. Here's the kick towards the goal and punched away by Shingleton. Nice move there to keep that. Was heading toward the net,
Yeah,
Tim.
that was a shot on goal, so go ahead and mark one up for Shingleton. Just 5 minutes into this one, Haley gets her first official save of this game. Punching it away. Will set up a corner kick here for the Lady Golden Eagles. Hailing from Siloam Springs, Arkansas, that is.
This is the first time these 2 teams have ever met, Tim.
First time. Brand new opponents. No history to go off of here.
There's
Although
Laura Garcia. She centers.
Volleyball teams are making some quick history between the 2, and the Lady Lions will be The Lady Lions volleyball will be up in Siloam Springs this Saturday to take on John Brown University. So little triple header when you think about it here over the few days. And we'll be getting to know this institution a lot better.
Lady Lions so far doing a good job of keeping a lot of deep penetration. Like I said, just one shot on goal so far on really was a free kick from about 60 yards away. So I'm impressed so far with the Lady Lions defense against this strong JBU squad.
Yeah, they've done a really good job of preventing multiple passes. That's what really kills you, is when a team can set up camp and you're into the field, just make crisp, clean passes one after the other, spread you out, make you get in the wrong position and make a mistake. Lady Lions have done a very good job of limiting how much time John Brown can spend in their end of the field. Because you know you got a good goalkeeper behind you. A good goalkeeper can inspire the defense. If you know if you can play John Brown straight up, force them to just take standard shots, Shingleton can make those saves. She was named the Defensive Player of the Week just a few weeks ago in the Sooner Athletic Conference. That's a pretty big honor for a team that hasn't won a game in the Sooner Athletic Conference. So she has done a very good job. What you don't want to do is make that mistake, because if Shingleton's all of a sudden facing a breakaway or a 2-on-1, a 3-on-1, that's when even the best of goalkeepers aren't going to save that one. So the Lady Lions have just got to make John Brown stay honest, stay on their man, keep the passes from spreading the defense out too much, and do a good job of clearing the ball right there.
Just like that,
Yep,
absolutely.
clear the ball away.
Sarah LaChance pushed the ball on up ahead down the left side. She squirts past several defenders, now tries to center. Good defense up the middle from the Lions. But the ball just kind of hanging around the SAGU side of the field as JBU maintaining a lot of ball control here. Here's Adrian Kennedy. Pushes up ahead. The ball is going to sail out of bounds. And Shingleton will send it back the other way. Shingleton, a junior from Deer Park, Texas. And John Brown almost came away with that one, and it's going to be Kennedy again, really playing some strong defense. She'll throw the ball in. Kennedy, she is from Siloam Springs, Tim, so it's her hometown college. She chose to stay home. Maybe she lives at home, who knows, but she is a junior from right there where JBU is located. Nice move inside. Cutting through Laura Garcia. And there's that SAGU defense again, able just to keep the Golden Eagles at bay.
Yeah, that was Natalie Pena doing a good job breaking up the penetration attempt into the box. It will go out, and it will be SAGU's toss from
It'll be Hagemeyer. It'll be Vicky Hagemeyer, the junior from the Congo, Africa.
I guess
Little
as opposed to
here.
the Congo, Kansas. And that ball goes out of bounds, so it'll be a free kick for Shingleton.
And a misplay there from the defender will give the ball back to JBU deep in SAGU territory.
Just a quick kick, trying to catch John Brown on the heels running back. Was not on target, though, and so this is the kind of thing you don't want to do, is give the ball right back to John Brown after you kind of stopped an attack opportunity.
Good defense there. That ball sailed about 20 yards in the air. JBU maintains control. Down to the left side, trying to center. It'll go out of bounds, and they'll set up another corner kick, this time on the far side of the field, near the baseball field. Of course, behind the baseball field, you see the brand new Hagee Communications Center. This week is a special week here as we're having guests on campus today, tomorrow, through Saturday. Be some fun tours as folks who graduated years ago get a chance to walk back through the campus and see the new Hague Communication Center. We're proud of it.
Good defense
Nice
right
deep
there.
2-on-1
Amy Lambden
defense. Absolutely, Lambden.
stealing the ball away, and she comes right back out and clears it towards midfield. Lady Lions have done a good job of not letting John Brown set up camp, but it goes without saying that they have really yet to even get into John Brown's side of the field and make any sort of impact offensively.
Justine Lopez out to Daniela Ramirez. Hagemeyer keeps it in bounds, tries to work past the midfield defender.
That's
It's
too
Ramirez
high.
again, too high. Yeah, give the ball back to the Golden Eagles. Just about 11 minutes into play here in the first half. No score. Most of the action taking place on the SAGU side of the field. As JBU is just maintaining persistent, patient ball control. On up ahead now, it's Laura Bradshaw. Now near midfield. Up the right side, she's looking for Brady Frederick. Frederick and Hagemeyer in a battle here. Hagemeyer will clear it out. It'll be another corner kick for the Golden Eagles.
Got to be careful, just giving the Lady Eagles one opportunity after another at the moment to try to get on the scoreboard early here. If you're the Lady Lions, that's what you don't want to happen, because you know your chances of scoring today are going to be very limited against a solid goalkeeper, and knowing the offensive problems you have, you don't want to go down in an early hole.
No.
Because it's going to take a good series of events for the Lady Lions to find the back of the net today. You're looking maybe in the second half, just a long pass, working it in, finding a way to make that work. Otherwise, it's going to be all John Brown if they're able to score early.
Shingleton put the ball back into play. Not sure what the holdup is. Here we go. Sends it to the left side. Both players missed that header, and JBU back on the attack once again on the near side, looking for Adrian Kennedy. No trip call. The referee, you saw him move his hands to the side. It's play on. No trip. Now here's Kristen Morency.
And let me tell you, what a difference a few hundred miles makes. Siloam Spring in northwest Arkansas, just west of Rogers and Bentonville. Today it is 54 degrees up in Siloam Springs, and they have a freeze warning today. For those of you not in the area, it's currently 80 degrees in Waxahachie, Texas.
We'll take it.
I won't take it. I've lived here long enough to know that that's seasonably warm even for Texas for late October. So with Halloween right around the corner, trick-or-treaters need to be optioning for well, non-heavy costumes, let's just put it that way, as the temperature very warm for this time of year. And if you're a John Brown team, you're like middle of the day right now, you're used to 55, 54 degrees, beautiful fall weather, and all of a sudden you stepped into what feels like mid-August for northwest Arkansas. So we'll see if the weather plays any factor. You got to imagine that they don't mind too much. It's not like it's sweltering. It is a beautiful day,
It's
slight
beautiful.
breeze.
Absolutely beautiful out here.
Just not what you typically expect when a month after the calendar officially turns into fall.
Be a free kick for JBU. That'll be Julie Whitlow. She is a sophomore from Rogers. So 15 minutes in, and Lady Lions holding their own.
Headed away by Kaylee Cox. Good job preventing the through pass off of the free kick. That's going to roll over. And Haley Shingleton
That'll be out of bounds. Men will be on tap at 4 o'clock, and then tomorrow at 2 p.m. will be the homecoming football game against Oklahoma Panhandle State.
Opportunity
the Aggies.
here, and that's a
and
goal.
there's a goal right there. Slipped just past Shingleton. She dove to her right. Ball was kept low near the ground. Shot was too short, Tim. She had no chance to react to that, and JBE will jump ahead 1-0.
It's hard to tell who got it. Might have been number 5, but we'll try to get the official scoring for you here. But she just split right through the defenders. All of a sudden, she was one-on-one with Haley Shingleton, and that's what I was talking about earlier. You just can't let that kind of mistake happen. You've got to play John Brown straight up. If you let them start running up the middle, if you let them get open passes and open runs, Shingleton can't do too much about that one.
So about the 29.5-minute mark, John Brown on the board first. Make it look easy. That was not a very difficult shot on goal. She almost had the entire net to look at. Just kind of froze Shingleton and then kicked the ball with her right foot. I think it was possibly number 5. We'll check on that. Could have been Maddie Sussmilch. We will check on that for you. Was able to slip it right past Shingleton. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, all the social media sites. SAGU Sports Network is your Facebook. Sportsnet be the Twitter feed. SAGU Sports Network for YouTube and Instagram as well. Also be looking for the coaches show we call the War Room, where yours truly, Rob Price, sits down with the coaches and talk about strategy and looking ahead and looking at previous matches for soccer and football, volleyball. Soon we'll bring basketball into the fold as the number 2 team in the nation last year. We'll hit the hardwood just in a few weeks here. In fact, Midnight Madness will be tomorrow night from 10:30.
Tonight, actually.
Check that, Tim. Tonight. Go ahead and tell us about it.
Thursday night. Well, that's tonight, obviously. Starting at 10:30 in the Schaefer Gym. 10:30 is when doors open. 11 o'clock is when the event begins. A lot going down. We're going to have some three-point competitions, I heard, possibly free throw.
Three-point competition?
That's what I heard.
We need to get our executive producer, John Cookman, out there to light it up.
That's what I heard with that.
Put some sneakers on him.
Free food, meeting the teams, Lady Lions putting together a very, very different squad than we saw last year.
Yeah.
A bit of a down year for them in their last year in the Red River. They're looking to really crank it up and compete in the Sooner Athletic Conference, added some new players, getting some old players back they didn't have available last year. And obviously the Lions going to be opening up the season with a target on their back as a team that pretty much stunned the nation last year. They were picked to finish 4th or 5th in the Red River Conference, and they rallied back to, well, not rallied back, they just stormed through the season, stormed through the tournament to finish number 2 in the nation, coming up just short against a very powerful Georgetown squad.
And we thought it was number 5. Our eyes were close. It was actually number 6. So we were close. It was actually Sarah LaChance with a goal, freshman from Springdale, Arkansas, out of Harbor High School, is credited with the goal for John Brown University.
25.5 minutes left here in the first half. Lady Lions trail 1-0. So yeah, come out tonight if you're near the Waxahachie campus to Midnight Madness. The event will run from 11 to 12. Free food. Cheerleaders will be leading the way with, sure, probably some free T-shirts or something. I think I might be promising more than they're giving, but I would imagine that that's going to happen.
You say it, you better bring it.
I know. if Drea Saros is out there and she's not giving out T-shirts, I apologize for making that promise on her behalf. And then obviously it is homecoming week here at SAGU, and so tomorrow night at 9:30, I believe, or 9 o'clock is the homecoming bonfire. They're bringing it back.
Right.
Did it a few years ago, and now they're bringing it back this year. The football team will be out there. The cheerleaders, the band will be out there, playing some fight songs, getting the crowd fired up and ready for the big homecoming game on Saturday against Oklahoma Panhandle State, which obviously we'll be bringing to you on the SAGU Sports Network live from Lumpkin Stadium. Long kick by Shingleton, and it's knocked right back. And so far, this is the script that John
And
Brown.
There's a whistle, and nice sportsmanship there from number 9 for the Golden Eagles. That's Casey O'Brien.
Amber Bilal gets right back up on her feet. But so far, this is exactly the script that John Brown wanted to have happen. They've taken the early lead, and will be officially as deep as the ball has gone into John Brown territory. That long kick easily collected by the goalkeeper. And when you're only shot even near the goal through the first 20 minutes is from about 65 yards away, you can expect it's going to be pretty tough to score.
And
Long
there's
shot.
easy shot on goal, stopped by Hingleton. She'll send it. That's a good deep kick. And no one there to corral it in, although there's number 12. That's Amy Lambden trying to steal it away from 3 Golden Eagles. And it's just more the same. JBU maintaining most of the ball control and time of possession in this first half. Just about 20 minutes in, about 23 minutes in, actually. And I'd say about 80% of the time it's been in the possession of the purple shirts.
Well, not even just possession. The Lady Lions have done a good job, as you mentioned, of keeping prolonged possessions away from John Brown. It's just that 80% of the time the ball has been on SAGU's side of the field.
Right. And that's going to be problematic if the Lions can't switch things over here to try to, like you said, steal a goal away from this tough JBU defense. Already down 1-0, and JBU is not going to slow down. They want to get some more votes.
Quickly thrown back in. Not wasting any time on that one. Trying to catch the Lady Lions off guard, but it'll be knocked away by Kaylee Cox.
If you go by wins in the Sooner Athletic, John Brown would be definitely in a tie for 5th place with Texas Wesleyan. If you go by number of losses and winning percentage, I should say, then John Brown would be 3rd at 4-1. So it depends how you want to look at it. Either way, there are 3 teams with just 1 loss.
It's a very strong conference, and you look at overall standings. Oklahoma Baptist 9-5, OKC 9-4, Wayland 10-6, Texas Wesleyan 10-2-2, John Brown 9-3, Northwood straight even at 5-5-1, Mid-America Christian at 9-5, and Southwestern Christian at 8-6-1. Now, obviously, teams play different strengths of schedule in their non-conference games, but still, you're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of the 11 teams are at 500 or better in their overall standings this season. So this is a strong conference from top to bottom. Shingleton passed that up ahead. And the unfortunate ticker for the Lady Lions right now is that they have eclipsed the 500-minute mark since their last goal. And it's gone by pretty easily in this one. They have been unable to really even maintain any sort of possession in John Brown's end of the field. Like I said, when you've had this much problem scoring goals and you're going up against a team with a goalie that averages less than a goal a game, you're going to be in for it in this one. If it's going to take everything you have to try to get it down the field, look for some substitutions in the second half, really, to try to some offensive substitutions, really.
Yeah.
Obviously, Madeline Thornley leads the team in goals, is starting the game on the bench. I would not be surprised at all if we see her enter the game at some point to try to give that offensive spark the Lady Lions now have to have,
Right.
just to tie this game back up.
And at this point, goalkeeper Kristen Morency has been basically a spectator, Tim, and I don't remember a single shot even coming in the goal box at all yet. and
There was the one long free kick from
right.
the Lady Lions end of
Early on.
midfield that she collected easily. Now, that can work one of two ways. Obviously, if a goalie has to face way too many shots, you're starting to see specters out of the corner of your eyes, and eventually one of those is going to go in. The other side of things is you stay a spectator for 45 minutes, 60 minutes, 70 minutes.
Your body's not moving.
All of a sudden, that one pass that gets through, you take on that one shot. You see a lot of times where a good goalkeeper will only face one shot on goal in a game, and it'll be a goal. So that can definitely go both ways.
Sure.
You don't want to have your goalie, again, being a target, taking shot after shot. That's deflected down.
Shingleton
That'll
will
be-
pull
ooh,
that one in.
That was
That was
scary
a shot
for,
on goal.
That was a
That'll
shot
be-
on goal, and it was scary for a second there. Shingleton backed up to collect it, and then she realized it was going to drop in front of her, so she had to make a little bit of a move to get to it. But there's always that idea of, a goalie waiting back, being a spectator for so long that they practically fall into a trance and think they are a spectator, and all of a sudden the ball comes right at them.
Well,
If you want a good
yeah.
soccer example, you can think back to the first game of the 2010 World Cup between USA and England, when the U.S. had been unable to really have any sort of attack on England, and a harmless little shot in towards the goal was completely mishandled, led to the USA's only goal of the game, and it was a
Right.
tie as the Americans stunned the Brits. So you might be looking for a similar situation here today if you're the Lady Lions. Just try to catch the goalie off guard.
Well, if you're Morency, you're almost thinking, I don't mind a few shots on goal just to get some live balls coming my way. So, you don't want to get scored on, of course, but I don't think she'd mind if there would be some more action at the JBU side of things. So, but right now it's been
At
all
this
on
point, the
the
defense has
on the
shown no
south side.
signs of, and here comes an opportunity.
Here's to be shot on goal. Top left corner, sails just over the top post.
And that was some very good defense. Looked like Casey Griffin was coming up the middle for JBU. She was going to have a really good shot from the top of the box, but the defenders swarmed her quickly, knocked the ball away, forcing JBU to take a longer, less reliable shot that sailed over the net.
Here's Hagemeyer down the left side. On up ahead to Justine Lopez. It'll go out of bounds. Lady Lions will maintain possession. And jumping in front of that pass, Casey O'Brien. And JBE will maintain possession once again of this soccer ball. Julie Whitlow on up ahead now to Casey O'Brien again. Hagemeyer gives chase and ball goes out of bounds. Giffen gave a shot at pulling it in, but too much velocity. It's going to be Lady Lions ball again. Total goals for the season, you mentioned 5. Thornley with 2, Pena with 1, Puglisi with 1, and then Cox with 1. Those are your 5 goals on the season. Last year, Lady Lions finished 6-11-1 in their 7th season, so it's really still a relatively new program on the scene here in Waxahachie. Conference record last year was 4-5-1, their final year in the Red River Athletic Conference. goals scored last year, 28, did allow 32. So at this point, I think Lady Lions would be real happy to get to the 28 goal mark this year, which is virtually impossible. But so bit of a rebuilding year for Lady Lions here in Manny Fortner's 3rd year as head coach.
And again, you knew it was going to be a challenge coming in to this new conference. Opponents that you're not familiar with. So
Competition's stiffer,
a
a lot
lot of
stiffer.
it. It's a lot better of a conference, undoubtedly, in soccer-wise. And then add in the fact that you're just not familiar with teams. One of the better teams, obviously, in the Red River was Our Lady of the Lake, but the Lady Lions played them off enough. They finally figured out how to put together that perfect game plan. Coach Fortner, a very good game planner. She put together a great game plan. The Lady Lions went down to San Antonio and stunned Our Lady of the Lake. Still stands as definitely the biggest win in program history. And when you're playing everybody for the first time and you're not matching up as well with them, you can't put together the same level of game plan that you would have otherwise with familiar programs. So expect a very different results next year. For this year, though, it's just that those growing pains, moving up north and moving up a little bit in level of competition.
Sidekick attempt there. Lady Lions, JBU snuffs it out. One-on-one here. This is Laura Bradshaw, Hagemeyer. And it's whistled out of bounds. JBU will get the ball back. 13:30 left in the first half. Just 1-0. Lady Lions still within striking distance, but really need to get that offense turned around and put at least some pressure, maybe a couple of shots on goal going the other way. Give themselves a fighting chance. Justine Lopez wears number 25. She's a midfielder, a sophomore from Red Oak, Texas, just up the road about 8 miles. So you picked up all your vast knowledge, Tim, of soccer during your years in Latvia, didn't you?
I would say that I picked up more vast knowledge here in America, actually, because that's where I've watched most of soccer.
But the European style, I mean, you've spent all those years as a, with your father and mother's missionary, and the whole style of play in Latvia and Eastern Europe is ferocious, to say the least.
And that neck of the woods, it really is. It's very different than, you go a little bit west and you see the Netherlands and
what's
see the
west
Germans.
of Latvia? Help me out here.
West of Latvia would be Netherlands. Germany. Those are your big teams right there. They play what would be considered in Eastern Europe very foul-driven soccer. Slide a lot, dive a lot, try to draw whatever yellow and red cards you can. Not the case in Eastern Europe. There's no such thing as diving. You go down when there's blood on your face, and only then. You stay up other than that. So yeah, it is a very, very rough soccer environment. I got close to more.
Which is why you didn't play.
Oh no, that's why I did play. I got close to a scrape or two, playing soccer and as a basketball player over there. A lot of times for training, we'd split up different squads and play miniature soccer tournaments between our basketball teams. And it's also a lot different when you're playing outside and it's about 12 degrees outside. When the ball's so cold that it shatters your toe when you kick it. That's a lot of fun too. Crossing pass over the middle.
Good defense there.
Very good defense. That could have gotten ugly in a hurry. You never want to see the ball possessed that close to your own net. And that'll go out of bounds. So we approach the 10 minutes left here in the first half. The Lady Lions, well, where they're setting up right now is an opportunity to be the deepest they've been able to carry the ball into Golden Eagle territory.
The closest I ever got to soccer fever was in 1982 when I lived in Europe for several years as a military kid. So I lived in Spain, and in 1982, the 1 year I lived there was the World Cup being held in Madrid. And let me tell you, there wasn't a restaurant.
Fancy footwork there.
Absolutely. Look at this move.
Great footwork by Justine Lopez. Dropped the defender to the ground, and long pass up ahead will be collected easily by the goalkeeper.
Not enough help on up ahead, but Lopez showing some skills, drifting through several JVU defenders. It was electric. The whole nation was just a buzz for like 3 or 4 months leading up to, and then of course during the World Cup. Of course, I'm just about a 12-year-old kid taking it all in, but that's when the exposure to soccer for me really was increased, and appreciated the game. And it truly is a world's game, world sport.
It's honestly a sport you can never truly appreciate until you go somewhere that it matters a lot more. And obviously it's been catching on more and more in America through the last decades. Obviously I remember the last World Cup, the nation having a very different response than they had in the past. A lot more pride in the team, a lot more people watching. But nothing quite still compares to where it is the main sport. And it's basically like a month-long. When the World Cup gets played, it's a month-long Super Bowl for the rest of the world. It's one of those things that once you can see what it means to so many other people, and it does mean so much. I had a friend who grew up in Africa, and he always used to remark his soccer as the only sport that stopped wars and started wars. And it's very true, as it can create, it can bond nations after long periods of strife, and it can create fractures between nations with the bitter rivalries that take place on the pitch.
Well, you know, soccer is beginning to arrive in America when 2 of the 30 documentaries, I can count at least 2 off the top of my head, of the 30 documentaries produced by ESPN, the 30 for 30 series, were about soccer. One was the Pablo Escobar story, and then most recently the Women's Soccer World Cup in 1994, the whole story of that amazing run.
Less than 8 minutes left now, and Shingleton will clear it away again.
Actually, 1998. I think it was 80.
99.
99.
99
yeah,
Women's
right,
World
99.
Cup with the 1-0 win over China.
That's right. There's Laura Bradshaw, tries to center.
Almost split the defender there.
Sure did.
But
She
I
got
think
past
it was
Natalie Pena
yeah.
and Hagelmeyer.
I think it was Pena who offered just enough resistance to keep her from retaining possession. And oh, here comes an opportunity. She's going to try to chase it down and will not be able to get enough ahead of it.
Madeline Thornley, who's got 2 goals on the season already, at least woke up the goalkeeper, Thornley.
And that was a perfectly placed pass. Thornley just did not quite have enough speed to beat out her defender. If she could have found that extra leg to get past, that would have been a breakaway, her and the goalie. Instead, she had to opt for the straight-on pass from a long ways away. But
she waited to stay on sides. What do the offsides call?
Yeah,
Smart heads-up play there.
She really took the only option she could. But now the Lady Lions offering just a little bit of push now for the first time this half.
Hagelmeyer on up ahead to Lopez, who's showed some fancy footwork earlier. I guess only the second time the ball has reached the defense area on the east side of the field. But like you said, Tim, at least the last 60 seconds or so, the Lions are putting a little bit more pressure, trying to force the matter just a bit more here. Men will kick off at around 4 o'clock. Then a half an hour or so at the conclusion of this match today. Beautiful, beautiful weekend here for homecoming. Like you said, 80 degrees. It's going to be nice all weekend long. We welcome all of our guests coming in from various parts of the Midwest and Southwest area. A lot of our graduates from Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana. Had some guests starting our chapel service this morning. Wonderful chapel with music leading the way. Basically a mini concert. They were outstanding. It's nice to see faculty mix it up with the students on the stage, Tim. When you see a guy like Doug Wines, Tyrone Block, and I think Christy Gwines maybe as well played, that they're demonstrating their abilities, musical talents along with their students, and I think it's just really a positive thing we have on this campus, encouraging faculty and students together to present their skills in public forums.
Substitution in for John Brown. That's Chloe Fennell, junior from Tahlequah, Oklahoma. So John Brown starting to shift in some players with halftime approaching.
A big boot there from Kaylee Cox. She's a freshman from Midlothian, Texas.
Lady Lions are going to get a free kick right here.
So a little
again,
opportunity here.
Yeah.
First time, Tim.
Yeah, this is the deepest free kick they've had the opportunity to take. So obviously unlikely to score it from right there, but good chance to maybe set up a nice pass, set up a play essentially near John Brown's box with less than 4 minutes remaining now.
Here's
Long kick ahead and sails over everyone's heads, easy collected by the goalie.
Morency's only allowed 11 goals in 12 games, so just under 1 goal a game. It's her average. A dangerous pickup right there.
That was very dangerous. The defenders stuck with the progressing Golden Eagle, and that was a good job. If she had left her alone, then Shingleton would not have been able to come out and collect that, and that would have been an easy shot on goal from inside the box. Just dumps it back to Shingleton, and she'll clear it out. Right to no man's land, and easily collected by John Brown. Unable to save it.
Bounds. That was Alex Farr, a sophomore from Little Rock out of Conway High School. Forward, 5'4" forward. So head coach Kathleen Paulson and her assistants Faith Thurman and Matt Johnson have to like what they see so far, although they probably would prefer to see a few more goals to try to impress the voting block for the national rankings.
And no matter who you're playing, 1-0 is not a safe margin. As we saw just a moment ago, a long pass up ahead, almost collected by Thornley. Would have been a breakaway. Just, like I said, because she had to stay back, waiting to stay on sides for the ball to go over her head, she was unable to break away with it. But still, that's all it takes, and that's what the Lady Lions are going to need. They're going to need a moment like that where they can just catch John Brown's defense forward a little bit, get behind him, and have that good one-on-one with the goalie, or even a 2-on-2, something like that, to really work on a real opportunity to score and break this Sahara-like drought they found themselves in when it comes to scoring. We're in the waning moments now of the first half. The Lady Lions set up a free kick right at the midfield line.
Here's a good chance here if you could just maintain possession at this side of the field. But JBU able to push it back the other way with little resistance. Now here come the Lady Lions trying to make something happen under a minute left in the first half.
Hagemeyer will just kick that one away. It's a good job because it'll wasn't much behind her. If she let the offensive player get a hold of that, it could have been just her and the goalie in a hurry. And there is the whistle. And so that will conclude the first half. Lady Lions give up 1 goal.
Hey,
They
got to be happy with this score, to be honest.
I would say you are pretty happy with this score at the moment because of the way that this game has gone, your inability to get down the field, and the fact that John Brown has been living on your end. You only had 1 little mental error, and you paid for it with the goal, but you only trail 1-0. Well, we'll be back in a few moments with hopefully some first half stats and second half adjustments here on the SAGU Sports Network. And welcome back to Lions Field. Lady Lions trail the John Brown University Golden Eagles 1-0 as we get ready to start our second half of play here. Remember, immediately following this game, well, not immediately, about 15 minutes after this game, the men will take the pitch as the Lions will also be looking for their first win of the season in conference play. They stand at 0-5 in the SAGU Athletic Conference, 3-10 overall. Look at our upcoming broadcast here. Obviously, Saturdays. We're reaching the end of the year here for SAGU Sports Network as into fall sports. OPSU, Oklahoma Panhandle State football. That'll be Saturday afternoon. Then the last volleyball game of the season. They take on Oklahoma City as they are right in the middle of the tournament hunt in the SAGU Athletic Conference. That'll be at 5 p.m. on October 29th. And then lastly, late in November, football will play their season finale at home against Bacone to close off their season and to end our official fall lineup here on the SAGU Sports Network. And obviously we'll be back in January for basketball and hopefully a little bit of baseball action this year as well. Lady
Full
Lions
lineup this year on the SAGU Sports Network, indeed.
Lady Lions will start off with the kick. Some first half stats for you. John Brown University with a 7-1 advantage on shots. Not at all surprising, as you saw that. It's honestly surprising there weren't more shots from the Golden Eagles. It was a continually peppering offense, and they come right out of the gate again. SAGU had 4 fouls, no fouls against John Brown. There were a few times Lady Lions got a free kick, but no fouls called. John Brown had 2 corner kicks. SAGU had 0. Haley Shingleton had 3 saves, so 9 under her average for the season.
Sure.
I'm sure she's not going to complain about the fact that she hadn't had to save 6 or 7 shots in the first half. Obviously, the key stat, Golden Eagles 1, Lady Lions 0 at the end of one half of play.
And that's all the one that really matters. And 1-0 is obviously the slimmest of margins. And one slip up, one mistake, one ball that gets past the defender, you could have another one-on-one breakaway that we saw with Lambden a few moments ago in half of the first half, and you could tie this up. So,
and really, I would say that after the first half, both teams are probably happy with the way things went. Obviously, Golden Eagles happier with having the lead, but John Brown's, like I said earlier, their script really worked the way they wanted it to, as they already
the shot on goal
here, and Shingleton can't handle it. That's a goal.
Go in. It was in her hands.
No, wait. And now we're seeing a celebration. Kicked it away. No, it is a goal.
And it slipped right out of her hands. Looked like she was trying to scoop it up, and as she scooped it up, it slipped out of her hands.
Yeah, she just never had a full handle on it. It slipped by her, and she frantically ran to the back trying to stop it. But just like that, less than 2 minutes in to the second half, John Brown, they had good possession down there. They were doing a very good job of retaining possession and pushing it, but it really wasn't that strong a shot, just one that Haley Shingleton was unable to handle.
It looked like she was falling in on it. In fact, I began to make the call that she picked it up, but it ricocheted off her left hand as she was picking it up, and I just don't think she secured the ball, not unlike what we saw if you watched the World Series last night with the second baseman for the Cardinals, thought he had the ball caught, was going to try to convert a double play, and never actually secured the ball. That's what happened here just a moment ago, and then she still almost was able to track it down, Tim, as it was running right along the baseline of the goal line.
Right.
And then it just trickled just barely past. Once that ball reaches past that wide line, it's a goal. And she saw her try to kick it back out, but it was too late. It crossed the line.
And
So if this score ends up being 2-1, say SAGU scores a goal, you got to look back at that goal and say, what if? What could have happened?
I was just about to say that both teams are happy with the first half, and I would say the Lady Lions were happy with the first half at that point because they had faced a lot, but they'd only given up one goal. But just like that, you give up a goal you didn't necessarily need to give up. Just sort of a weak shot, and like I said, Shingleton had the chance to pick it up, but it just took a weird angle, had a weird spin on it, and she was unable to bring it in. And Lady Lions will be playing frantically from behind from here on out. They now need 2 goals in 41 minutes. And as we said before, unfortunately, they haven't had a goal in 500 minutes. And they're going up against a very good defense, a very good goalkeeper, in Kristen Morency on John Brown's side. So now the Eagles, the Golden Eagles, really putting the hurt on the Lady Lions now.
We'll try to get the name of the player credited with that goal in a moment. It's hard to tell.
Yeah,
from that angle, it was a wider shot. Plus, our eyes were looking at the goalkeeper. It seemed like a dead play. So we'll try to get you that name in a
got
moment.
the last foot on it in that situation because it was kind of a scrum for it. That'll go out of bounds, and the Golden Eagles will have the ball.
Hope you've enjoyed the volleyball broadcast the last couple of weeks watching the SAGU Sports Network. The volleyball team has really improved their play. Dropped a tough one 2 nights ago to Oklahoma Baptist, one of the top teams in the nation, number 8 in the nation, dropping it 3 straight sets. But they were competitive, to say the least, Tim. I know you were there watching the game as well. And the volleyball team is looking to secure hopefully a 3rd place position in the Sooner Athletic Conference, thus avoiding having to play the number 1 team till as far as possible into postseason tournament play. But Lady Lions have come on strong here at the volleyball court and look to finish the season on a high note under head coach Hank Moore in his, I believe, his 13th or 14th season here at SAGU.
It's been an up and down season, really, when you think about it. They started off very slowly, had a lot of losses, went on a big run, hit a stretch where they were playing 3 or 4 games a week, thousands of miles traveled.
Lost 6 or 7 during that stretch, Tim.
Tough stretch, and they've come back alive as of late, but they have a tough stretch to finish the season. Obviously, we'll be bringing you all of that. Well, the last home game we'll be bringing you here on the SAGU Sports Network, and when the Lady Lions are on the road, be sure and follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Twitter's where we bring you the blow-by-blow updates, the regular score updates, every single set. And obviously we'll be bringing you final scores on Facebook as the Lady Lions make that push towards tournament play. Obviously, if they failed to qualify out of the Sooner Athletic Conference tournament, then they would obviously be up to play in the NCCAA Central Region Tournament, which I believe would be up in Colorado this year. So
bring your skis.
I wish I was going. That sounds beautiful right about now. But be sure, as always, to stay tuned on our social networking. Not only do we bring you video highlights, photos, and all the latest news, but that's also where we give you updates from games that are happening not only on the campus that we aren't able to cover, but off campus when the teams hit the road. On Saturday, we'll be very busy on there as these soccer teams will be playing here at Lions Field. The Lady Lions will be up in Siloam Springs, Arkansas, and the cross-country team, fresh off, well, in their first season, obviously their biggest moment, the men claiming first place at the University of Dallas meet, the women having 3 finishers in the top 10. They'll be heading up to I believe the NAIA Mid-States Classic.
In their first year of competition.
Yeah, so
here at SAGU.
yeah, for one year, and they've already got a plaque with their name on it. So that is a very good start. They've been very competitive all season long. They're looking to do some damage in the Sooner Athletic Conference tournament this year. Very first year, and Coach Jason Covarrubias has some runners on that team. Like I said, he had 3 girls finish in the top 10 at that meet, and 4 guys finish in the top 10. So he equated at the beginning of the year in our pilot episode of the War Room as to breeding horses, and he's bred some horses in a hurry. Opportunity for John
shot
Brown.
On goal over the crossbar as the JBU weaved through about 3 or 4 defenders. Sailed harmlessly over. Shingleton will put the ball back into play. 36.5 minutes left here in the second half. Here in Waxahachie, Texas. A beautiful day, 80 degrees. Let's get your suntan lotion out. And here's a whistle. Lady Lions will get the ball back. Free kick used to be just short of midfield. That'll be Kaylee Cox will send it into play. Kick down the right middle side, headed off by JBU. Now near midfield, it's Lindy Garrison in a battle. It's going to go out of bounds. Should be Lions, Lady Lions ball. Football team will come into Saturday's game, Tim. I believe 2-4 is their record, so there's still a chance to finish at 500 or better. They have to win out, of course, to be above 500. But with the 1 game canceled about a month and a half ago, we've gone from an 11-game season down to a 10-game season. So 5-5 is basically the goal at this point, and they can get some things started that direction with a win against OPSU.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough game against an NCAA Division II opponent. And obviously, we'll have all the details for you on Saturday, but a little teaser. Last year, SAGU stunned OPSU. Actually, their homecoming game up in Oklahoma, winning 28-27 in overtime on a Reed Golson touchdown scramble. So this is a team that they know they can beat. They beat them last year, looking to try to turn this season back around after a very tough loss against Austin College last Saturday, a game in which they survived a bunch of scares in the first half. Looked like they could have been down as much as 17-0 going into the half, but they were only down 7. But then a last-minute fumble on a kickoff return gave it right back to Austin College. It was 14-0, and they were fighting from behind the rest of the game. And what hurt most is they actually won the second half. They won the second half, but it was too little, having fallen behind 14-0, giving up 2 touchdowns in the final minute of play of the first half. So a rough one for Coach Godding's squad, but one that they'll be looking to rebound from this Saturday. One way or the other, though, is going to be a lot of fun out at Lumpkin Stadium. A lot of fans out there for the homecoming game. Tailgate party will begin, I believe, at noon on Saturday. So be sure and come on out early. Free food, drinks, games brought to you by Student Congress. Come out for the fun. fellowship, and then go on inside Lumpkin Stadium and watch some football. And obviously, homecoming king and queen will be crowned at halftime. I haven't seen the ballot of who's on it this year to put together the odds, but I'm sure there's people out there with bated breath, unable to wait to see who will be homecoming king and queen.
And that kick from Shingleton sailed past Hagemeyer, so give a free ball back to JBU. They look to extend their lead, perhaps to 3-0 and more, as they keep pressure on Shingleton. He's able to pull that one out. This time she'll throw it on up ahead, avoiding the kick. Here's Lopez on the near side. Spinning around is Natalie Pena. Stopped by the JBU defense. Now they come back and turn around. Numbers aren't there, but gotta credit the hustle. I think that's Casey O'Brien with scraping her way through, at least to the goalie box with possession before relenting.
It's definitely all going JBU's way now. Almost 15 minutes into the second half. Getting that I guess you could call it almost a fluky goal. It was one that they did a very good job of setting up. They set up very well inside, had the opportunity to get a strong shot off, but good defense kept a strong shot from getting off, but Haley Shingleton unable to corral it completely, and that's what has John Brown safely ahead at the moment as they set up a corner kick.
Here it comes. Headed off. Southwestern able to clear. Now JBU steals it right back. Shot sails wide to the right. Shingleton will put it on the line.
I love this weather.
15 minutes into the second half. 2-0. Lions will need to score in a hurry.
As we mentioned, John Brown at 4-1. If they were to win this, win this one, that would put them into a tie in second place in the SAGU Athletic Conference with Oklahoma City, ranked number 19 in the nation. They're currently at 5-1 themselves. So John Brown, very solid squad, just looking to hang on for 30 more minutes here, prevent anything crazy from happening. Good opportunity for the Lions here, though.
Sure is.
Free kick, deep in Golden Eagles'
Need a
side of the
mistake here.
field.
Need a mistake by the JBU defense.
Up
There's
and
a shot, a header shot on goal, headed off by the goalie. Credit Frederick for keeping an eye on that shot as it caromed off the head of one of the offensive players for the Lions. And a pretty good corner kick itself, well centered.
Yeah, it really ended up playing almost like a corner kick. It wasn't from the very corner, obviously, but did a very good job of getting to the center, got a head on it, and put it on the net. Just good eyes from Kristen Morency to track it down, pick it out of the air.
Yeah, it did seem like a corner kick. It actually was a toss in. And no tripping call. Play on, the referees say.
8-3 in shots. John Brown 8, we have 3. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Hold the A to talk to that channel A and do it.
Shots are 8-3, John Brown.
And you're hearing the voice of one of our scorers, Mark Ward, as he's giving some stats to our staff. 28 minutes left in this ball game, in this soccer match. Lady Lions unable to get anything going offensively really at all. I didn't really see any major adjustments, did you, Tim, between the first half and second half? It seemed like more John Brown just keeping the pressure on Coach Manny Forder's ball club here.
I mean, the Lady Lions have been more forward, trying to get the ball down the field, obviously trailing by 2. But when you're going up against such a solid defense, it's very, very tough to string together those passes needed, and just an error there will give the ball right back to John Brown.
Hagelmeyer unable to pull that one back in bounds. Give JBU another shot. Kathleen Paulson's got to be happy with what she's seen so far, Tim. And not really a threat defensively, but the ball possession, the ball control, and this might be a game she can look back on and give her girls some kudos on just, you know, keeping the pressure on the defense and keeping that ball on the right side of the field if you're JBU.
Ball will go out of bounds again.
Reminder tonight, 10:30 in the Schaefer Gymnasium, Midnight Madness until midnight. A lot of fun on the basketball court as the players show some of their skills. There'll be some fun activities, three-point contests and games as we kick off homecoming weekend here at Southwestern. And tomorrow night, 9 p.m., the homecoming bonfire between Teeter Hall and Bridges Hall. Saturday, volleyball at John Brown on the road, and then football team in action about a mile away at Lumpkin Stadium.
Subs coming in for the Golden Eagles, Haley Massey and Hannah Poore. Stepping off, Alex Farr. John Brown trying to keep fresh legs out there as they try to hang on for the last 25 minutes here. Said just don't want to let anything get out of hand, let the wrong pass sail too far and all of a sudden have the lead cut in half. But at the moment, the real critical blow is the early goal here in the second half that turned a 1-0 lead that's very manageable. You just need one play, and all of a sudden you need two big plays.
Yeah.
And as we mentioned, when you've been having this many offensive problems, that's a lot to ask for. Here's an opportunity for John Brown. That's Karen Sosa getting swarmed and has the ball taken away. Kinsey McNutt, I believe that was, coming in to take it away from her. Pass goes out of bounds.
Lopez trying to work past the defender. And Chloe Fennell off the bench will put the ball into play for the Golden Eagles.
Hold on. Give me some John.
And Lady Lions able to push that one finally back into John Brown territory. In fact, the goalie, Morency, will finally get a shot to touch the ball. A defensive move. So with some subs coming in for JBU, you might see a little more pressure put on the defense of Golden Eagles.
And I don't think that shot wasn't official. There had just been a whistle blown beforehand, but that shot very accurate, rang off of the goalpost
It
there.
sure did.
So very accurate shot from the Lady Lions. It was, the whistle had blown, so there was nothing potential about it even. But a very good shot from that point of the field. Unfortunately, that's the most offense they've had in the second half, is a shot after a whistle that rang off a pole. John Brown's defense has just been suffocating.
Too good.
Really only 2 moments. The long pass up ahead that was almost picked up by Thornley. She took a long shot, easily corralled in. And then a few moments ago, the free kick, the cross over the middle, Lady Lions got a good head on it. I think it might have been Amy Lambden who got the head on it. But it was Kristen Morency right in the way. Really never really was much of a threat.
Centered back over to Brady Frederick. Now Karen Sosa, number 7, centers it back up ahead. Now to the right side. A patient ball movement from JBU as they weave through the defense. And back near midfield. They'll reset, try it again. As now some of the subs getting some decent, significant minutes here in the second half for John Brown. And be careful here, and she just kicks it out of bounds to set up a corner kick.
Lambden just clears that.
Lambden.
Now, if you're John Brown, there's absolutely nothing wrong with what you're doing right now. You're keeping possession, and obviously SAGU's not going to score if they don't have the ball. So you're doing a very good job of just keeping it alive, even if you're not creating many scoring opportunities for yourself. You've got 21 more minutes to run off this clock. Here comes the corner.
It's low.
That's
rolls right
rolls
past
all
the
the way
net.
through. It rolled through about 13 players total, I feel like, and didn't have so much as a foot put on it. Both teams just unable to get to that one. Very
That
good
was
corner
bizarre.
kick.
It wasn't like it was in the air. It was about
It was
2 foot off the ground.
skimming
and then
across
skipping.
the ground. So that was a very good corner kick. John Brown just unable to get a shot off of it. Very dangerous for the Lady Lions. If you never want to let the ball go all the way through. We're getting confirmation for that goal earlier on. Laura Bradshaw, number 12 for the Golden Eagles, finally getting confirmation on that goal, happening about 20 minutes ago. Laura Bradshaw with the goal.
Laura is from Lubbock, Texas, a senior out of King High School. A defensive player credited with the goal. It might be her first of the season as a defensive player.
Well, let's just say she's not in the top 4 on the team, so. Shingleton, another kick from her own net.
And
Headed
headed
right
off.
back, and
Dangerous.
this is going to be very dangerous here. She corrals it just in time.
Not a good kick at all. And now a bad pass attempt from Samantha Gonzalez will give JBU the ball back. And now another missed opportunity to gain team possession is number 10 there, Lindy Garrison. And some sloppy defensive play from the Lady Lions.
That'll go out
Is it
of the
gonna be a
back.
corner kick?
And no,
Nope, it's going to be really out of
never
bounds for
touched by the
Eagles.
Lady Lions. So Shingleton will have another kick. You got to imagine, legitimately, Shingleton's leg might be getting pretty tired at this point. You had talk about in the NFL icing a kicker to try to make him kick a field goal once and then have to use his leg again. Well, Shingleton's had to kick that thing probably about 25 times in this game.
At least.
And so you gotta, she's got to be feeling it right now with how many essentially 30-yard kicks
shot
she's
on
had.
goal.
That was a
She
long,
steps right in front of that one and
long one,
secures
but
it.
it was on target. Shingleton had to save it.
Here comes JBU again, stealing that ball near midfield. It's the same song again. As JBU maintains an offensive attack. Really no pressure here at all from the Lady Lions. It's JBU having their way, just setting things up, looking for the right angle. Finally, the defensive player gets a foot on a soccer ball. And the Lady Lions look a bit fatigued here, Tim.
Yeah, they're in the very unfortunate position of trailing 2-0, but still having to play very hard defense. They really can't afford to push everything on the forward, or else you're gonna find yourself down 3-0. Now here's a good pass up the middle. Here's an opportunity. That's Belial, and it's gonna go left. She had an open player to her left. Lady Lions had a chance, but the pass was just a little bit too far. Belial maybe feeling that frustrating, feeling the ghosts of over 500 minutes without a goal haunting behind her, taking a shot when she might have needed to look for a open player. That one sails far left.
It was a great kick. It was a right-footed kick, but it had a left-to-right spin, so it was actually spinning away from where you'd normally see a spin, which allowed that ball to free up for the offensive player to track it down. So really a skilled kick on up ahead. The angle was right, the distance was right, just not able to get a decent shot on goal. Lambden, number 13, will send the ball back into play. She's from Stockton, California, from Jim Elliott Christian High School, a junior.
Lady Lions with a trio of players from Stockton, California. Amy Lambden, obviously her sister, Kristen Lambden, a freshman, but then Ashley Knopp, also from Stockton, California. I actually talked with Ashley Knopp earlier on in the season, said, did you know about, the Lambdens? And they didn't know each other at all. They just all ended up coming from the same place, the same little old town in North Texas.
Julie Whitlow sends it. Another shot on goal and punches it in for
offsides.
goal number 3. Are they going to call offsides?
Offsides called. The flag went up right as they got a hold of it, and that'll keep the score at 2. It was an excellently put together play, though. The offensive players just crossed that defensive barrier right before the ball did. Flag went up immediately from the side judge, and the score will stay 2-0. Go out of bounds. Lady Lions will have possession. Less than 15 minutes left now in this game. Another reminder, right after this, about 15 minutes after the conclusion of this game, the men will take the field. The Lions and the Golden Eagles of John Brown will be right back out here. So be sure and stay tuned for that.
I'm a big sports fan. I like to watch the ESPN a lot. And I'm seeing more and more, Tim, soccer being promoted and being played in prime time on not just ESPN but other networks that I get on my satellite stations. And this is something you just didn't see as early as 3, 4, 5 years ago. There's a lot of soccer out here for local Americans to take in and ingest.
Definitely is. That shot goes high, and so another kick from Shingleton.
Just playing keep away. RJBU on up ahead. Looks like Hagemeyer is going to be able to chase that one down. Well, now a steal. I think that might be Armstrong. We'll have to check on that. Stole the ball right away from Hagemeyer. And here come the Golden Eagles again. Gloria Lozano, number 12, on up ahead to Toddy Hess. So a lot more players getting some playing time, some bench players seeing significant minutes here for Coach. I'll check that. That was actually Frederick for Coach Kathleen Paulson.
Oh,
had a nice save right on the line.
Diving
that
save
stop,
from Shingleton. She had to have full extension and just really crushed that ball to the ground. If she had just put her hand out there, I think it might have deflected off and found its way inside the bar. Instead, she brought it in from the top and pinned it to the ground. Lady Lions relying on Shingleton to keep this one at a 2-0 game.
Wow. Great stop.
Haley Shingleton still just a junior, so she'll be back next year. It's good to know that you have a very solid goalkeeper to plan another season around. Just got to find a way to start clicking offensively. If you can start putting goals up there, get the workload off of Shingleton's shoulders where she's not having to face, well, 110 more shots than SAGU's getting overall. That's a very good piece to base a team around next year.
JVU centers again, high center over everybody's head. Hagemeyer will play defense from the top side of your screen. And she's able to pull it away. John Brown recovers, shot on goal. Shingleton steps in front of that one. She'll boot it away. Under 11 minutes remaining in this ball game, in this match. 2-0. And a pass to nobody in particular. We'll have to go back and retrieve that and reset. As the Lions moving the ball the wrong way on offense. Now miscue, lucky to keep possession. On up ahead, Lambden sends it up. Now here's a shot.
Big opportunity right here. This is a breakaway.
You see a shot on goal and a great stop from the goalie.
And that'll get deflected all the way back out, and the SAGU cannot corral it. Madeline Thornley again, and you just cannot ask for a better scoring opportunity one-on-one with the goalie. But just a great leg kick, knocking it right back out.
She just took away the angle. She went on and challenged Thornley.
Yeah,
took away the angle.
She did a very good job of moving away from the line to make that one happen. And so it looked like for a moment there the drought would be over, but it continues. Here's a good centering pass, broken up for the moment.
Absolutely, Hagemeyer able to push that one away. And that moment right there, you talked about it right at the beginning of the game, is you need one of those just opportune kicks up ahead where you create a one-on-one situation. That was by far the best shot we've had all day to score a goal.
That was it right there. Thornley knew it too. She had the chance, and even after the deflection, SAGU had one or two players back, but the ball just crossed in between them. They were unable to get to it. Otherwise, they would have had a goalie far out of position, possibly get the angle on her and put it back in the net. Less than 10 minutes left now, under 9 minutes actually. Lady Lions still scoreless in this one.
Thornley, a freshman, stemmed from Flower Mound, just up the road here in the DFW area.
Yeah, she's had really 2 of the 3 SAGU scoring chances today. She's done a very good job, just unable to get those kicks off to right where she needs them to go. And obviously, she leads the team in goals on the season, so she's a very good offensive piece moving forward. A lot of subs coming in for John Brown. Now we've got number 15, Alex Farr, coming back into the game. Number 2, Rachel Harris. Number 6, Sarah LaChance. And there was one more that I missed. Did you happen to catch her?
No, you got them all. You got them all. LaChance had a goal. She had the first goal for JBU back in the first half at the 29-minute mark. She's back in the game. And whistle. Give the ball back to Southwestern. Crowd still very supportive here at the fields of Waxahachie's campus.
Saw a good number of John Brown fans out there, too.
Absolutely.
They travel well, I guess, going all the way from Siloam Springs, Arkansas. That's about a 6.5-hour drive, I would approximate from my knowledge of the area. So good job following their soccer teams down here to support them as they make the move towards conference tournament play and looking to possibly move it beyond into the NAI national tournament.
Excuse me, a shot, centered shot, pass. JBU able to get it out of harm's way. And now on the march again, surrounded by white jerseys, looking for help. Doesn't come. That was Brady Frederick again. Now on the left side, crossing over. It's Laura Garcia, centers and headed off by a SAGU defender. Garcia, scrappy play on the left side. JBU will maintain possession near midfield. This is Gloria Lozano. Southwestern trying to steal it away. Now centered. Too far of an angle, a nice diving stop from Shingleton. No shot for Garcia to create a shot on goal. Lambden on up ahead. Now a steal from the Golden Eagles. Good defense from Linda Garrison. Number 10, Garrison, freshman from Hastings, Michigan, out of Thornapple Kellogg High School. Sounds like they make cereal up that way. Well, you do know Michigan is like the capital of cereal. Kellogg's, all their granaries are up there.
I did not know that, and I did not expect to find that out with 5 minutes left in this game. I'm surprised it took you that long.
I think it's Grand Rapids or some other cities up there that make all kinds of cereal.
Under 5 minutes remaining now. And Singleton, we've said it a lot, back to kick. Substitution in for the Lady Lions. Long kick ahead. And that one will fall into the John Brown's territory, but they will quickly get on it and kick it away. As they're just looking to run the clock out now and hang on to this 2-0 lead. Potentially add a goal later on, but.
Well, you pitch her the shutout, that will definitely get the attention of the pollsters for sure. You like to see more than 2 if possible, but a shutout's a shutout, either way.
And if you're if you're Kristen Morency, this will be her 13th game, having allowed only 11 goals on the season. So that really does look good on your own personal stat sheet.
Right. The Lions will drop to 0-7 in conference play, and 2-12 on the season, with just a few games left to go in the season.
They'll have one home game remaining. That'll be later on this season. I believe that game might have actually been moved to Lumpkin Stadium. Don't quote me on that one, but since it will be an evening game, they were talking about moving that game over to Lumpkin Stadium for use of the lights.
Right.
Since obviously, Lions Field does not have lights like Wrigley of old, and so a 7 o'clock game after daylight savings time ends means you'll be right in the dark.
Pitch dark.
It'd be the second time the Lions move a game over there. They moved over there earlier this season when a downpour hit right before the Our Lady of the Lake game, and unfortunately rained out our broadcast as well. But they had to move that game over to Lumpkins to make use of the artificial turf, which drains very well, holds its water very well, unlike the natural turf here at SAGU, which would have resembled the Mud Bowl right around that time probably.
And if you're going to score a goal if you're the Lions, now's the time to do it, to just get at least one on the board, which would be at least a moral victory against this strong JBU defense.
Said they had their two really good chances, both off the foot of Thornley.
There's a shot. They can maintain possession right here. You never know. Well, a battle on the far side, and JBU able to clear it out. Now under 2 minutes remaining. And it's still near midfield. I believe that was Kenzie McNutt. Now Lopez, sure-footed Lopez from Red Oak. In the corner now, trying to clear it is Laura Bradshaw. She had goal number 2 earlier in the second half.
There's another opportunity.
Shot on goal and right in the breadbasket of the goalie Morency. She's just in the right spot, the right time on some of the few shots that have been on goal against her. She's positioned herself just perfectly.
Looked like that might have been Nora Pugliese with the shot. She just put her hands on her head after that one got saved.
Under a minute.
These are definitely trying times when you're as a team. When you just can't put together a win, can't even get on the board. You know, it's those really trying times that test who you are as a person, even the frustration that builds. But it's something the Lady Lions will have to recover from for the rest of the season, have to recover from looking into next season. And it's something that if you allow it to, it makes you a lot better. Well, there's the final whistle. John Brown does hold on for the 2-0 win over the Lady Lions with a goal about 20 minutes into the first half, and then just 2 minutes into the second half. They stifled Lady Lions on defense, and they come away with their win to move to 5-1 on the season in conference play, 10-3 overall. Well, the men are about to take the field here in about 15 minutes. We'll be back here in a little while. Don't go anywhere here on the SAGU Sports Network.